All right, for the consultant, let's figure out his overtime hours. Even though he's not entitled to overtime hours, we'll use this as an indicator to see if he deserves the extra $500. So let's go back to consultant. And what we're going to do is we're going to override the method from the ancestor. So I'm going to go to source here. And again, you can type this out if you want to. Override unimplemented method. We're going to override to get weekly salary. Hit OK here and save. Now let's explain what's happening in this code. This code is overriding the parent, but what this is doing by default is it's getting the super, calling the parent's method, which is person, and calling their get weekly salary. That way this code doesn't break, so this is almost the exact same thing as the parent. Now what I want to do here in this code here, I do want to use this code still. This code actually does have a lot of meaning still. Okay, and we're going to comment this out for a second. Okay, and I'm going to say here, this returns a map, and we're going to say here, map new hash. This is not needed on this side, but you can put it there if you want to. And we're going to say here, overtime hours is equal to 3, based on this. How do we do that? We're going to say here, float overtime hours is equal to we're going to first check hours worked. It's greater than 40. Then we're going to say hours worked minus 40. Else we'll just display a 0. So again, if the hours worked is greater than 40, this will say 40. Let's say in case it's 43. 43 minus 40, we'll get a 0, and then that'll be there. And we'll then say here, map put hours worked there, overtime hours, and we'll put in the value here, overtime hours. Let's save it for a second and let's return map. This won't be complete, but it'll just show you something is working. Let's run this, run the Java application, and 3 here. Okay, now what's the problem here? Oh, if you go back to consultant, we're only doing this calculation. So what I want to do here is, let's still call this method from the parent that contains all the logic so far, and we'll call it for now here. This will do all the calculations. This will override the overtime hours here if it's 3 or 0. Let's run it again. Okay, there goes the 3 hours. Weekly salary shouldn't be 430. We have to change that. Okay. Hours worked is 43 hours, and the hourly wage is fine also. So we have to fix this to say probably $400, and of course we have to give him the extra $500. Okay, the overtime pay in this case is going to be $500. Okay, so let's stop that. And in fact, you know what? We can do that now in this video. We're going to say here. In fact, I can do this one right here. I'll do a Control C here. I'll say overtime pay is greater than 40. We indicated that it'll be 500 for now. Greater than 500. It's going to be that. Greater than 40. Yep, it's going to be $500. Otherwise, for now, it's going to be 0. I'll copy this here. I will say here overtime pay. I just don't want to spell the text incorrectly. Let's run it. So let's go to the driver, run it again. Overtime pays $500. Notice that his salary is still $430, so this is not correct. We'll fix this in the next video to get his exact pay.